So right now, if you're sitting there, make a list of everything you have. And I mean everything. That made me millions and millions of dollars. Point 9, use what you got. So this comes down to one of the ideas for what idea of a business to run. So I just gave you the example of the 15-year-old cousin who can make websites. Now you own a website company. Or your 15-year-old cousin who can do, I don't know, who knows what he can do. He can mow lawns. Every 15-year-old can mow lawns. Now you have a lawn mowing business. Bang. Tell his stupid ass to go deliver some flyers. Drive him around in your car. Play some 2-pack. Chill out in your car. Text some bitches. Drive at 5 miles an hour. Let him drop off all the leaflets. And then let him mow all the lawns. You collect all the money and just pay him a percentage. Bang.
This is a great example, by the way. I don't know if you guys realize this, but I used to have a brother-in-law, and he used to clean windows, like a window cleaner. I don't know the English word, but that he did that for people. The guy couldn't advertise for shit, couldn't write copy for shit, didn't know anything about marketing, still managed to get some clients, still managed to make decent money. Like, if you're the guy that actually knows how to get customers, there's some very basic copywriting knowledge, some very basic freelancing knowledge. All of these things are open to you. If you want to do the work, that's awesome. That's what I did for years, right? In real estate. I combined my copywriting knowledge with my real estate knowledge, and I killed it. It was great. But, if you have someone that has expertise or mows lawns, cleans windows, does gardens, whatever, you can come up with, if you combine it with your knowledge of how to get a client, awesome.
You now own a lawn mowing company. Congratulations. Use what you got. I made a lot of money with webcam girls. If you're watching this, you don't know that. Webcam girls. You can go to chatterbait.com. You see girls on there on webcam, getting naked, talking to dudes, taking money. That made me millions and millions of dollars. I came up with that idea by sticking to this principle. Use what you've got. So right now, if you're sitting there, make a list of everything you have. And I mean everything. You have a house, let's say it's rented. You have a car, it's on lease. You have physical strength. Let's say you're a strong guy. When I was making my list, I was writing everything down. I was like, well, I've got 6 girlfriends. 6 girlfriends. So, okay, how can girls make me money? Strip club, but that takes money to set up. Remember? Costs, money in. Strip club, I cannot get money in a strip club without a club. So I looked at all the costs for a strip club and realized it's too expensive before I could get money in. It's too big a risk. Remember? It's too much risk. I could lose 300-400 grand. Can't risk that. How can I get money in? How can I get money in for having hot girls without spending money out? So my first idea was strip club. But I looked at all the costs.
Please notice the thinking pattern. I want you to pay attention because people miss this. I don't want you to miss it. You start out with assets you have, right? So these are the facts. This is what is. And now he's getting into like a more creative way where, okay, got these assets. He comes up with one idea. The idea doesn't fit quite. Because for the strip club, you need a club, obviously. But instead of saying, scrap this asset, that's gone. He's looking into like, how can I make this work? What would work in this situation? Very important way of thinking for you as a businessman.
Why do men spend money on girls in strip club? Because the girls are beautiful. They get to look at the girls, see some titties. How can I do that without the club? Well, the internet. If I put them on the internet, it's cheap. This is literally how I thought. I stuck to my business principles. Okay, it's cheap. Start looking up, down, discovered the webcam websites. All right, so I've already got the girls, I've already got a laptop, I've already got the internet. Bang! The day I had the webcam idea, the same day I was making money. I didn't spend any money, but I was making new money because I refused to allow myself to spend. Then I started making new money in with the webcam because I knew I had the internet, I knew I had laptops, I knew I had girls. Use what you've got. Look around you. What people do you have? Does your old mother need a new job? Maybe she's at home and she's bored and she wants to, maybe she'll mail things for you. I don't fucking know. Do you have cousins, nieces, nephews? Do you have a girlfriend who has nothing to do? Use what you have. People, things you have. Make a fucking long ass list and you'll start thinking of ideas, business ideas. And they're going to come to you like the strip club came to me. But then you're going to sit there and go, okay, this is a good idea, but I can't afford that. But then you're going to go back to the other lessons I've taught you. Okay, this is how much it would cost to set up that way. But how can I get the money in that this would generate without all the costs? And if you do that and you sit there with a piece of paper and you write everything down and you stick to the principles I've taught you so far about how to start businesses, you may find a business you can start for a couple grand. You've already got your staff, couple grand, you got an idea. You try it. Doesn't work, lost a couple grand. Does work, bang, you're rich. That simple. If it starts to work, speed, 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 more, more, more. Lesson 1. It's really not that complicated. This is how hustlers get rich. It's really, really simple. So, use what you got. A lot of you already have things you can use, you just don't use them.
This is true, by the way. People vastly underuse the resources available to them, and it's annoying to see because they, like I said before, like the thinking process that Tate shows you is so important, and a lot of people miss it, where you just, you throw away a perfectly good idea because, I don't have a strip club, can't get a strip club, that's it. But the resource, in this case, the ability to get girlfriends, let's put it like that. I don't want to put the girls as a resource in themselves, but the ability to get along with women, to get girlfriends, that is a massive resource. And you can use that in a multitude of ways. He decided to do that. It worked out. Awesome. Great. But when you're making your list, don't just throw away stuff just because, the first idea doesn't work out. Think about how could I make this work? Instead of, that's gone. No.
Uber's another one, man. Uber's a fucking perfect one. So, I know Uber doesn't pay very much at all. I know that. But, you know what everyone loves to do when they first get their driving license? Drive. Maybe you have a 17-year-old cousin or some shit, he's just learned to drive. Get his ass on Uber. Rent a car. Find a way to rent a car with unlimited mileage per month. Tell him he's going to do 10 hours of Uber a day to train how to drive. Lie to his ass and say that in the Uber app, you can track and make sure he ain't breaking the speed limits so he drives safe. Put his ass on Uber, pay for his gas, and give him half the money and keep half for yourself. Bang, done. Set him up, get him ready. This is shit. I didn't plan. I'm just telling you things off the top of my head. Because this is how I think as a hustler. I don't need to sit and think. I just know there's money and I find a way to get the money. That's how I am. So right now, you've got cousins out there who aren't driving Uber. If you can convince them to drive Uber, well then why don't they do it without you? Easy, you can talk some shit. Make some shit up. Hey, have you got an Uber account? No, I'll set it all up for you because it's complicated and there's some tax. I'll handle the tax. Don't pay no tax, just lie. Blah, 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 get them an Uber, get them in cars, bang, 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 take the money.
Yeah, and it's like, to add on to that point, it's not even about talking shit. It's just because people are always intimidated by starting a new venture, doing anything. I've seen this so many times where people, he gives a tax example, which is perfect. Like, people are super intimidated by starting a business, doing tax stuff, installing a new app, that's the reason why they don't get started, because they're intimidated by all of that stuff. You aren't. Like, you're thinking about this, you're coming up with ideas, and it's easy to sell, especially if you say all of that, like, hard work, all of that stuff that you're intimidated by, I'll take care of that, bro. Don't worry. I'll do that. That's perfect. That's like music to their ears. In general, people aren't afraid of doing the work. People are fine doing work. People work every day, right? But what they're afraid of, what they're intimidated by, what they don't want to do is to actually go deep into it, start a new venture, get the formalities done, all of that stuff. And you and I know that the formalities don't matter anyway. Versus money in. Then you can do all of that stuff. And that's never going to hurt you, provided obviously you don't become like a brain surgeon without a brain surgeon diploma. I wouldn't do that. Don't do discount brain surgery. But anything else, basically, you can get started, get the work going, get money in, handle all of that stuff. But if you can be the guy that does it, or the girl, possibilities are endless.
Done. What are you waiting for? Use what you got. You've already got people, there's cars, there's things happening. You're just not doing anything. Look around, make a full list of what you have, stick to the business principles, and find a way to get money in without spending money out. And you won't lose. That's what I did with the webcam company. And it made me millions of dollars. Millions. I ended up with huge numbers of girls. All because I started with one girl, made money, bought another laptop, got another girl, 2 girls, made money, bought a bigger apartment, 3 girls, 4 girls, 5 girls, bang, 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 bang. Before you know it, I had a fucking empire of women. Because I stuck to my business principles. I never spent money I didn't make first. From my webcam company, which ended up generating over $7 million, I never once, ever spent money that I hadn't made. I didn't spend $1 out of my pocket that I hadn't already made first from the webcam company. I started that from zero. Just like I started my advertising agency, zero. And this is why when people come to me and go, I want to start a business, I need an investment. I sit there and think, you don't know about business. Because if you knew about business and your idea was really good, you wouldn't need my money. You'd pull it off for zero. If you're talented and your idea is good, you don't need money. So if you can't make it work for zero or for very little, then it probably wouldn't work anyway and you just lose a whole bunch of money. Because if it would work, if it's a good idea and it will work, then money will start coming in fast and you'll have the money you need. If no one's sending you money in to give you the money you need, then the idea doesn't work anyway. So if I put these I take that back. It's horrible. If I put these chicks on cam and no one was paying them, then they weren't hot enough to be in a strip club, were they? Luckily they were. I know my girls are hot. It's just an example. This way I get to find out if they're good enough for free. This way I get to find out if they're good enough for $200,000-300 grand. Think about it. Use what you've got. You've already got shit out there. You're just lazy.
All right. So very important. First thing that you want to do right now. Right now, you make the list of all of the assets that you have. Like, what are you currently not using? What could you be using? What could you potentially be using? All the stuff, all your skills, your resources, the people that you know, any untapped possible sources of revenue or work or knowledge, all of that stuff. That's the first thing you do. That's one. Two, I want you to adopt this mindset of creativity. Tate calls it the hustler's mindset, and it's Hustlers University, which is a very astute observation. Because a hustler is always looking at how can I make things happen. Too many times I get people reaching out to me or asking me questions, making a list of all the stuff that they can do, which is annoying because it doesn't pay anything to make the list of what you can do. Anyone can make that list. That's easy. I want you to make the list of all the things that you can do. How can you make this work? How could it be done? And if you run into an obstacle, now you get to use your creative mind. Like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to find a way around it? Like, I don't have a strip club. All right. But I can use the internet. I can use that. Very low barrier of entry. I can just try the idea out that way. So stick to the principles. Make your list. Make sure that you list out all of your potential resources and embrace that creativity, because you'll be amazed at how good you can get at this stuff. Where if you realize that this between your ears, that's the most important asset that you might develop, that you have in life. If you're creative enough, you can basically make almost anything work. And you have so much already. I don't care how old you are. I don't care where you live. I don't care what your background is. If you list it all out, you'll find out that there's so much. Oh, and regarding the sales part, you'll find it very easy to sell ideas to people, to sell the dream to people, if you make it easy for them to say yes. Hone in, zoom in on what they find the hardest part, what they find the most difficult stuff around whatever idea they want to pursue, right? And then you make it easy to say yes. I'll handle that. I take care of that. Don't worry about it. I'll figure that out. Whatever obstacle there is perceived in their mind, you fix that. And you'll be amazed at how many perceived obstacles there are. So go out, make your list, be creative, and get going.